Hi, we're here at the IFCBAA Conference on day one at 2024. We had two great panelists up there this afternoon. Thank you very much for being part of the conference. Brian, would you like to introduce yourself and talk about what was discussed on the panel?
Sure. My name is Brian Barber. I am here as a delegate from the National Customs Brokers and Forwarders Association of America. I work for Wilson International, and I'm domiciled up in Buffalo, New York. So a little bit of a trek for me. Happy to be here. Happy to be part of the IFCBAA conference.
Thank you so much for coming down under.
Yeah, you know, I've enjoyed everything that Kansas had to offer except for the jet lag.
And Rachel, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Rachel. I'm the president of CBFAA in New Zealand. It was a little bit longer journey than I thought when I signed up to come, but I'm really excited to be here. This morning's been really interesting from our perspective. I'm always reminded about how similar our industries are. We're suffering from the same issues that we are in Australia, and the topics here being discussed are really topical for us as well.
Yeah, there's many. We're all dealing with the same issues in a way. The issue that the topic discussed was in global outlook. What's your predictions on what's happening?
Ask me again in 6 months after the election. Like that's the biggest thing the biggest thing we're going to say, right? I think from a U.S. perspective, you're going to see an enforcement posture. It's going to be tough times for China. There's a lot going on in the de minimis space right now with low value shipments. CBP is tasked with processing over 1 billion de minimis shipments per year. Wow. And right now they lack really the enforcement structure and regime and resources to be able to effectively enforce there. So there's a lot of traction on the policy side, and also up on Capitol Hill, there's some interest in giving CBP the tools that they need to better enforce in the de minimis realm, right? So I think you're going to see things potentially like bonds being required for de minimis users, and potentially some user fees, and some additional resources and technology.
Yeah, the technology space is something we've talked about today. It's really important. But also the US has had an interesting ruling on the demurrage. Did you want to just touch on that a little bit? The court. Forgive me.
For the FMC, So for the FMC, so they stepped in, due to some challenges with demurrage and terminal fees, and there was a ruling. And the forwarding side's not my side. I'm more of the customs brokerage side. However, what I do know is that it was favorable to NCBFAA members and helping set standards, for some, I'll say, fairer fees.
Yeah, absolutely. For globally, it's quite interesting to read that, because it's an issue that's very topical, especially in Australia. Well, as we have short detention times. Rachel, maybe I'll come over to you in New Zealand. What's some things that we could expect to see and similarities?
We've got consumer demand is down a lot in New Zealand, so our input volumes have dropped by about 20%. So that's a significant reduction that our members are facing. And then the freight rates, they had gone down to pre-COVID levels. They are starting to rise. We're finding that we've got vessel schedule issues still. We've still got issues with ports being blanked, which is really problematic. And while we still got the same job numbers, the numbers we would have had an order that maybe had 3 or 4 containers on it. Now it's only got 1. So it's the same amount of work for our members, but the revenue is down. So it's been a challenge.
There's definitely challenging times, but in freight we seem to ride the boat or get on the ship, as they say, or take what flies ahead. Thank you so much for being a part of the conference today at IFCBAA, and thank you for traveling so far.
Thanks so much. Happy to be here.
Thank you.